Hello, and during the course of this series, we're going to get into two-channel audio, high-fidelity audio, mid-fidelity audio, multi-room, home theater acoustics, the latest and greatest tech. We're going to talk theories and ideas and what snake oil and what type of equipment to choose, system layout, latest and greatest DSP processing and formats, and we're going to talk everything under the sun. Want to give a big shout out to all the content providers out there, the YouTube video warriors and online social media content providers and bloggers and whatnot. Want to give a shout out to you guys and say thank you for carrying the torch all these years and bringing us all the latest reviews and information and insight and talking theory and application and measurements and everything. You guys have been doing a fantastic job. Your Gene De La Salas of the world, audioholics, your Thomas and Stereos, your Cheap Audio Mans, Hi-Fi Huff, Nemo Propagandas, Aaron's Corner, Jay's Yagi, Jay's Audio Labs, Hi-Fidelity Z Reviews, Thomas and Stereo, yeah, the Andrew Robinsons of the world, Hans from Germany, Darko Audio, Steve Guttenberg's been doing it forever. Can't leave guys out like this, been doing since the 1970s. What an ear for high-end audio. Played with it all, defunct companies, all the new technologies, old analog versus digital. He's seen it all, heard it all, written about it all. Thank you, Steve, for all your years of dedication to our fantastic hobby. And I want to give a shout out to all the engineers out there, the titans of the industry, all the legends in audio that have been doing it forever. The guys that have been there since the very beginning, your Jim Winey, 1960s, who just passed away. God rest his soul. Innovator at Magnapan audio with planar magnetic speakers. Starting to do great work with integrating fast subwoofers to his speakers. What a loss. Who's going to replace these guys when they're gone? You know, we're not getting any younger. Hopefully decades down the road when your Nelson Passes go and your John DeAgostinos of the world and speaker legends like Andrew Jones and Peter from PBM Montana and any of us guys that have been doing it, for decades. Trial and error, learned all the math, the engineering, the theories, the designs, and did everything and made this products what they are today. You know, even your Floyd Tools, guys that just did it right and brought these fantastic pieces to us. Want to give a big shout out to us. I mean, the fact that you can, for budget audio up to ultra high end, of course, you can spend thousands and get like live sounding performances in your living room, your acoustic space, even the budget stuff. Who could build this? I can't build it. I can't start over from scratch and learn all that and do the trial and error and even compete with these guys. And so much respect and admiration that we have this great hobby where you can disappear into a sound environment and you can live the live performance, even if it's for a brief moment or moments, like you're listening to a real acoustic in the recording studio on the stage with live instruments and singers and, you know, even great home theater with all the dynamics and options. Absolutely amazing, guys. Love this hobby, and that's what actually keeps me coming back for more. It's not just the music, it's not just the movies, it is the journey to try to, when you put it all together, it's special. It's not like, you don't want ice milk, you want Haagen-Dazs. It's quality over quantity every time. I've learned over the years since I started out in this business with just fuzzy, you know, sound trick dispersion bipole speakers that just bounce sound everywhere and low fidelity stereo, hi-fi receiver, audio video receivers. Anyway, we're going to talk about a lot of different topics in this review. We're going to review some fantastic speakers, which you're looking at in the middle here. This is the Primus P163s from Infinity when Floyd Toole was with the company 20 years ago. Fantastic budget audiophile finds. Very clear, very open, very detailed, very wide, big, tall soundstage. Treble's a little bit of the problem. It's a little sizzly and it can be a little bleachy. You definitely need to back it up and balance it right. Won't play hard in a big, giant system. Unless you cross it over, it very much helps your efficiency. Small, medium-sized spaces apply. But world-class budget audio, guys, for pennies on the dollar. $295 in early 2000s. You now can get them for anywhere from $40 to $120 on any given day on eBay or the used audio mart. If you're interested in that, there are also bigger speakers in the line. Aaron's Corner, I believe, reviewed the 360 series, mentioned how linear they were and how clear and detailed and open they were. So great pieces in this line. We'll talk more about that. I've reviewed some newer pieces from Acoustics, world-class fidelity pieces. And you have a totally different genre. You have high-end equipment versus mid-fi, and you can get fantastic results from both of them if you're very careful with the stuff. Yes, you can reach the pinnacle, but like these little Primus speakers lines you're hearing here, I mean, you're looking at there's 85% of the sound, and sometimes even more closer to those ultra high-end pieces for pennies on the dollar in the used market. So worth exploring. During the course of this reviews, my main focus is getting you to have speaker placement, seating, acoustics, integration, all the toe-in and aiming and angles and consideration for noise control, sound isolation, living with your room setup and your lifestyle and what the existing acoustic environment is like, making suggestions for that. I can walk you through all the procedures. I've been doing it for decades, worked in 4 high-end audio stores, did hundreds of systems, custom theater, acoustic jobs and floating floors and suspended ceilings and walls and whatnot and rooms within a rooms and staggered studs. I've did the whole thing, different types of sound insulation, and I'm here to help you. $229 for the rest of the year is the special. Gets you 2+ hours of assistance over the phone, Skype, emails, text, with or without measurement tools. I can walk you through how to place all the speakers to get the maximum fidelity out of your investment, guys. Absolutely invaluable. Show you the reviews and all the testimonies from all the audio guys over the decades and show you how important that is to getting the most out of your investment and without running into pitfalls and speakers are too wide and you're in holes in the response and things aren't aimed right and the levels are off and the delays are off and you have, phase cancellation issues and acoustic challenges and so many things I'll walk you through so you'll get better at it. I can work with your installer, and it's an absolutely invaluable tool. Basically, you're looking at $2 a minute, consult different packages, and of course, we can do hands-on, on-site for 100% absolute measurements and proper calibration and setup and marking all the positions with your installer and helping you work with the DSP and room correction options, or maybe just playing full range for 2-channel. Want to help you with all that, and we're going to talk about all the different fantastic gear out there and all your options because it can be confusing. What gear do you get? Everybody's talking about Arendale speakers, and they're talking about Perlisons and budget mono price THX speaker options and KEF RF3 metas and Cant Focals, and there's obviously the ultra high end for a Wilson. Do you have to spend hundreds of grand to get like a live performance? I would submit to you that you don't. That's part of my review and my goal, that you don't need. You can spend on budget audio if you do it right and you have somebody with knowledge helping steer you and then learning on your own a little if you need to. But putting it all together, someone with a lot of experience, the results are absolutely breathtaking, world-class. Cross things over, improve dynamic and efficiency in passive systems. Can help you with that. Do you need a $30,000 processor to get multi-row side speakers in a home theater and or side width speakers and do the delays right? I would submit to you, you don't. I can help you with all of that. So there's a lot of guys doing it out there in the business, guys, and some of them will tell you, oh, I know what I'm doing. We use Trinoff Live, we use Dirac, we use ARC, we use multi sub EQ on Odyssey. We have all this experience, and you're like, well, that doesn't mean you know how to play speakers and do acoustics and balance the setup and work with all the foundational points. So when they tell me that, I know that they don't know what they're doing, and you might get the same. I've had installers I've worked for over the decades. 20 years for the highest end companies in the business, can program Crestron remote controls and integrate Control 4 and Lutron lighting and put the security system in the home theater and the different zones, multi-zone audio, video, program remote control in your hand and put in, variable volume controls into the wall and call it professional. But they don't know how to do the acoustics, the speaker setup, the placement. They don't know what they're doing with all of that. They don't know how to set the parameters and what they're trying to achieve with the soundstage for imaging and 3-channel versus 2-channel up front. What's the most important? Where do you place the Atmos and the side speakers? And is it just basically because you want to place them there? Do they even sound good in those positions? So many pitfalls. I'll help you through all that. The best investment you ever made in your system, $229 gets you 2 hours of consulting what equipment, all the acoustics, the placement options, how to walk you through placing and to measure and listen. Subs, speakers, deal with acoustic options, what you already have in your house, And of course, we're going to talk about equipment reviews, guys, all the latest old tech and new tech and whatnot, and steer you into the right direction. Because again, everybody ends up with different equipment. Every system needs a different application and choice. What do you choose when you're listening to, Cheap Audio Man tell you this, or Hi-Fi Huff's recommending some high-end speakers. Gene De La Sala's got some active RBH speakers, which, by the way, probably blow your mind because they're active crossovers, 7.5 foot tall with probably 5 hertz bass extension or better, maximum dynamics, huge, massive soundstage. But obviously, what you're talking $30,000 pair of speakers, plus amplifiers and whatnot, and how their crossovers are integrated, or I don't know how that works, but I'm sure with his active systems, by the way, much jealousy, much envy. Love to hear your speaker system sometime. There's a lot of great speakers out there, and you can put budget stuff into your system and get fantastic sound quality. Going to help you with that. Hit the like and subscribe button, and you can hit me in the description, guys. I'll be glad to steer you towards contact and websites I'm working on. But right now through the holidays, and by the way, I'm going to give you a bonus. I'm going to give you all the winning NFL picks. I've been beating it 60 to 65% every season for decades. So just add an added bonus, track me, bet on it, small, whatever, just keep that information. Very important, 60+%, guys. That's good profit every single season. Been doing it for a lot of years. Besides that, we're going to help you consult. We're going to talk about all the equipment. We're going to keep talking about all the topics and what's hot, what's not. Gene, I'm sure that Cheap Audio Man's going to start reviewing products again soon. That would be fantastic. Love to know why he's no longer doing it, but I've been enjoying all the channels, guys. Thank you so much. Again, hit that subscribe and like button. We're going to talk to you soon. Those Infinities, by the way, absolutely should be considered. Even the bigger ones for bigger spaces, a little more dynamics. That is a fantastic small room speaker. If you can back the treble, little Fozzy Audio TB10, back the treble up a little bit, super clarity, very well balanced, 85% of the way the monoacoustic speaker when you balance it out right as a mid-fi. I spent $40 on these speakers, guys. They'll blow your mind. And then, of course, they have bigger towers too, and they actually have to integrate different into a system. They don't actually spread sound the way that these do. They're a little more closed in on the big 360 series. Fantastic speakers, guys. We're going to talk about more later. Again, much appreciation. And remember, not enough time in the day for ice milk. Eat Haagen-Dazs, quality over quantity every time is the theme of this audio channel. Multi-speakers that are, not in the right place, it doesn't sound good, versus 2-channel high-end audio, or speakers that are all placed properly with proper response, proper tonality, proper soundstage width, dealing with the acoustics, the reverb, RT60 times, delays. We're going to talk about all that. Hope you enjoyed the channel. And until next time, guys, keep enjoying this fantastic hobby of ours. We look forward to hear from you soon. See you next time.